All right, what's up, world? Wake y'all asses up. This is another episode of King of podcast coming back live to y'all once again. Today, what I'm gonna be talking about is taking action. And like I say, everything is just from my perspective. So when I talk to y'all, man, I'm giving y'all my perspective, things I've been through, my thought process, and just hopefully just connect and resonate with some of y'all out there. But for me, man, taking action was always a big step for me. It was something that I struggled with a lot because, I was just so nervous and afraid and scared of everything all the time. Like I just grew up just being afraid to be criticized, afraid to be judged, afraid of failing, afraid of success. So for me, man, taking action was a major step for me in my growth process and getting to where I need to go. And I wanted to talk about taking action because I just seen the difference that it made in my life, far as, thinking about something and being like, you know what, I believe in this, and then going for it. I think that's something that a lot of people do or are afraid to do. And one of the things that I see a lot is people, I guess, criticizing other people for attempting and trying, which I just don't get. Somebody out here doing something and you're not doing that. If you don't like what they're doing, why don't you go out and do the same? Why don't you go out and do it the way you want to do it instead of criticizing the person that's doing it? If you don't like somebody's prices for this and that, you don't gotta buy it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what this person's talking about, you don't have to listen. And if you feel strongly about what that person is talking about or what that product or service is, and you think you could do it better at a cheaper price or talk about something that can combat what somebody else is doing, then you go out there and do it instead of just criticizing people all the time, man. I have realized from taking action, the criticism comes along with it. And you get criticized by the people that don't take action, the people that just sit on the sidelines and be booing the people that's on the field, trying to make the plays and make the moves, So for me, man, just taking action is just such a big thing. And I remember the biggest action, or one of the biggest actions that I took, was making this podcast. I've talked about it before, I think in my lives. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at kingofdeberrys right down here. I talked about on my lives like how doing this podcast was just a opportunity for me to step out and do something that I said I was going to do. Like one of my biggest things now is being a man of action and trying to be a man of my word. I'm still getting better at it. That's what schedules are made for. So you can become a better person of your word. But when I say I'm going to try to do something, when I put my stamp on it, then I got to get it done now. And I remember back when I started this, I think this was September of 2018, I think September of 2018 is when I released the first episode. And it hasn't been the most consistent. I'll be the first to admit that. That's something that I'm working on, trying to get better at. That's why I was doing the lives every day, trying to get better at producing consistent content. But yeah, I've been doing this for a while, but it all stemmed from me making up in my mind like, yo, I gotta do this. I gotta put this out there. And it was put on my heart. And then to see it grow from where it was to where it is now, which, I don't got a lot of followers, man. I'm not ashamed to say it. I never expected to have a lot of followers. Honestly, I didn't even think nobody would even listen to my podcast, to be for real and to be honest. I know a lot of superficial people might say, oh, you definitely did this for the money, or you wanted attention and things like that. It won't like that. For me, it was about accomplishing something I said I was going to do. The fact I created an episode of a podcast where the old me would have never did that. The old me would have just been talking about it and never did it. But the me now, I'm about trying to make things happen. And I started the podcast and I kept recording. Now, at some point, would I like to monetize on it? Absolutely. Would I like for it to grow? Absolutely. But that was not the initial purpose. And even still now, that's not even my main purpose, for real. Like, I got other ways to make money. Like, I want my platform to be my platform to talk about what I want to talk about. And if people don't like it, they can start their own platform or they don't gotta listen. You know, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really. I told y'all in my previous podcast that you know, my whole thing is about promoting self-growth, like growing and becoming better people, knowledge and things like that, man. Having a good time, having fun. Like, that's what my podcast is about. But I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it how I wanna do it. And you know, if people rock with it, that's great, that's amazing. And if people don't rock with it, that's good and amazing too, you know. But the fact that I'm doing this and I've continued to do it and I stuck through there, I heard the feedback, I heard some negative feedbacks and stuff like that. So, you know, like building up my tough skin and everything like that, I couldn't ask for more, yo. I couldn't ask for more, man. I'm so proud. I'm proud of myself. And you know, I gotta pat myself on the back every once in a while, man. Cause I am my own biggest hype man. I really am, and I'm my own biggest critic too. So when I need to criticize myself, I definitely criticize myself. But also when it's time to hype myself up and be like, yo man, you the man and all this and that, I definitely do that too. So yeah man, I'm just proud of myself far as my consistent progress. If y'all go back and listen to episode 1, Love Yourself, and then you go through and you see the catalog, man, I done touched on different things. I got a lot more stuff to touch on, a lot more guests to have on, great people, things like that. But to see my growth from just the audio and, you know, doing hour-long podcasts, and then like I got some podcasts I haven't even released that because of like different sound things I just couldn't edit out. I haven't released it, but like I got some podcasts that's like 2.5 hours long. I got some that's an hour long. I got some 10, 15, 20 minutes long. Like I really just come in here and just pour out whatever on my mind or whatever subject I'm talking about. I just pour out on it. And then, you know, I love to hear the comments, the feedback, all that great stuff. But man, just taking action, man, it's just such a big thing, man. Like I used to live in my head so much. Where I just would think of having all these great ideas. I remember I had an idea about it was like, I'm not a big drinker by the way, but I had like it was like a card game and a board game in one, but it's a drinking game. So you pull a card or something and it'll say, oh, you got to do this and move X spaces. So then you go around the board and then you get a card where it says it's like a dud and you got to take like 2 shots or whatever. And I was like, man, this is such a great idea. Like, oh man, it's going to be good, man. I wrote it out and everything. And then like 3 months went by, I never did nothing with it. I went to, I think it was Charlotte. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, and yo, I seen a similar version of that board game, like that same board game I was thinking about. It might not have been a board game. I know it was cars involved in it. I know it was cars, and I think I had a board. But I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, and they had like a game store in there. And I went to the game store and seen that idea. It wasn't exactly how I had it, but that idea was right there. And I was like, man, people getting paid off of taking action, yo, making moves, making things happen. And I was like, dang, man, like I was like, opportunity missed again. Cause now I was thinking about getting a patent on it, all of that type of stuff, but I just never moved forward. I mean, even if they had a patent on that game, if I would have just took the steps, I would have known it already. You know, I would have known. So, you know, that was like an important lesson for me. And then the other lesson, man, as far as taking action, man, is talking to the women, yo. Like talking to the women, it was some amazing women I feel like I missed out on just because I didn't take action. I didn't talk to them. I was so nervous and shy, worried about what they was gonna think about me, stuff like that. Instead of just being like, yo man, she's pretty, she's attractive. Let me go just talk to her, see what the vibrations feeling like. You know what I'm saying? Which, little side note, I just realized vibe is short for vibrations. I just realized that, y'all, which is crazy because I'm always like big on vibes or whatever. I always talk about that. But then to hear that is about vibrations, and then people know, like, you know, I read into the chakras and, you know, the ancestry and energies and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's a vibration. So I was like, yo, this make perfect sense in my head. Like, it really blew my mind. But yeah, man, like, so many women, I feel like I missed the opportunity on at that time because I was just so shy and just afraid to take action, man. Like, I'm realizing that, like, yo, the wrong action is better than no action. That's what I'm starting to realize now. As long as it's not illegal, you're not harming anybody else. No action, action is better than no action, man. Just doing it and just failing forward. And even if you fail, you learn the lessons from your failure. You really didn't fail. It was just a new lesson learned. So, man, I'm just all about action, man. I just been seeing a lot of stuff, man. People talking about people that's doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that's attempting to try stuff. And people throwing a lot of rocks. And it's to me, I'm just like, yo, why? Like, yo, these people out here doing what a lot of people wish they could do or afraid to do. And y'all gonna sit here, like, they might not be right. They stuff might be overpriced. You know what I'm saying? They might be speaking the wrong messages, whatever. But people's out here doing stuff, making moves and making things happen. And for the people that's not doing nothing, like how I definitely used to be, man, I was one of those ones that would talk about people, oh, they didn't do this or they didn't do that, or why they do this or why they do that, or why you charging this much for this and stuff like that. Man, no, man, get your ass up and do something. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what they doing, if you got that skill set, then do what they doing at a better rate then. Like, if you want to start your own podcast, if you don't like my podcast, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just criticizing and why don't you start your own podcast and talk about what you want to talk about? You know, like, things like that. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, the hate is real. The hate is real. So I just definitely had to talk about, man, taking action, how it's been such an amazing benefit in my life. Things have definitely started to change and move and shake a little bit more for me. So I'm just super excited about that. And I'm just excited about everything to come, man. The progress everything is making, man. Yo, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. All from taking a little bit of action, man. It's just stepping out on faith and just being consistent. And that's something else that go with that action, man. Being consistent. Now, you keep punching the tree. But I think it's some monks, like, they punch trees, or it was Shaolin monks. I think they punch trees until they break through the tree. Like, they go out every single day, keep hitting the same spot over and over again until that tree eventually falls over. It's dope, man. What consistency along with action can get you. Consistency along with action get you a long, long way. So it's just, I mean, I'm just so glad I've been working on myself. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to sit here and make myself seem like I'm perfect. I take action all the time. No, it's still times, man, I should have took action and I didn't. It's times where I should have said something and I didn't. I'm still working through that too. But in my mind, I know instead of like me blaming anybody else, I'll be like, you know what? Paul, you should have did something in that moment. You should have said something in that moment. You should have been doing this. You should have been doing that. Let's work on bettering yourself. So when the opportunity come the next time, you ready, you prepared, and you can go take action. Because a lot of times that's what it really is, man. It's either fear or you're not prepared in the moment. You know, you're not prepared for your opportunity in the moment to take action. So, man, I remember and not prepared mean you haven't worked hard enough. And I'm getting there too, man. Like, it's still stuff, man. I'm a financial coach, man. I'm still learning a lot of great things, man. But early in my career, it was opportunities I missed because I didn't feel I had enough knowledge to go talk to people and express certain things and things like that. And I missed out on a ton of opportunities earlier in my career. And even still to this point, man, I'm still learning some stuff, man, that I'm getting more comfortable with. And I feel like I can have more conversations in those areas and things like that. So that's one thing, man. But then also, if y'all been keeping up with my lives and everything, y'all know I was a big basketball fan. Basketball was life. And for all my followers on Instagram, I know y'all know the story. God, basketball. No, it's God, family, basketball, and then you. So y'all gotta check that. Y'all gotta check that story out. I might have to upload that onto the YouTube. But basketball was a big part of my life. But the thing is, man, I didn't have the confidence because even though I worked harder than most of the people that was around me, when it came to the big, people don't understand. It's levels to this, yo. Everything you do is levels to this. It's some people, you might be the type, you pick up the ball in the morning and at night. Then you got the dude that sleep with the basketball. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to the level on podcasting where like I'm deep in the analytics and all that stuff. I'm not big on the analytics, man. I just record, I edit, I upload, and I enjoy, whatever comments and, feedback that I get. I haven't got to that point yet. But there's certain people in this podcast game, they wake up, the first thing they look at is their analytics. Then they figuring out their markets and who's consuming the most information, what's the time period. Like they got this thing down to a science. It's levels to everything, man. It's levels to everything, and it's all about your dedication to it. And even though I'm dedicated more so to the process of recording and putting it out to the masses and interacting with people on the Instagram lives, but it's some people out here, they take the business aspect of it very seriously because they want to monetize the best way possible. And I'm not mad at them for it, but it's levels, man. It's some people that eat, sleep, breathe this game, you know what I'm saying? This podcast game. Just like it was people that eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. Like I thought I was a big basketball head because I get up 6 o'clock in the morning, go run a mile or two, dribble the ball around. You know what I'm saying? Had my headphones on. I'm trying to think. No, I was a little bit after the Walkman when I was in high school. But I think I had like the MP3 player. So I had that, man, jogging. Think I'm doing my thing, man. Then you got basketball practice, and then I'll dribble for like another hour after that. But then when I got to high school and got to varsity, man, and I seen, first off, it was people putting up 100 shots before practice, then put up another 100, 200 shots after practice, then go home, dribble, practice some more, then go to sleep, wake up, work out early, 5, 6 o'clock. Man, it's people that's grinding, man. It's people out here that's really ready to take action. So when the opportunity comes, there's no hesitation. When you really work so hard for something, you feel like you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you put everything you got into something, you know you deserve it. When you put everything you got into the basketball court, into your business, into your career, to your family, whatever it is, you put your all into it, you feel like you deserve something good from it. And so when the opportunity comes, you jump on it. So when that good stuff come back to you, you know you deserved it because you gave everything you got. So, man, I remember just playing ball and I was given like 80% instead of 100%. But I'm a shorter guy. I'm 5'10". As far as basketball wise, that's short. Average. I'm I think a slightly above average male height or whatever. But basketball, man, that's short. So I'm already behind the ball, 8 ball when it comes to height wise. And now you put in the fact that like people outworking you too, and they taller and they more athletic and stronger. Yo, you ain't got no shot. And it took me so long to realize that, man, because I used to be like, oh, the coach ain't do this or whatever, and they got the favorites and da. And they might did. But when you outwork people, man, and your talent is just, when you just show your talent that it's just undeniable, they can't hold you back but so much. They can't hold you back but so much, man. And I just didn't let my talent show because I I didn't go above and beyond to get to where I needed to go, especially being the height I was at. I think I was like 5'9". I might have grown an inch since I graduated. But that was a learning lesson for me when I started looking back. I think about 23, 24, I finally got out of that mindset of like, oh, the coaches did me wrong, or they didn't give me the opportunities. And I had opportunities. It's just when I got in the game, I was the team player. You know what I'm saying? And for all my young viewers, people that's in high school or middle school, playing ball or whatever, I'm not saying you don't want to be a team player, but it's certain times where the man got to take over. You know what I'm saying? Like the man, whoever is the guy, it's time for him to take over. And people don't just hand you the ball, man. You got to earn that spot. And you earn that spot by doing things in crunch time, making the plays, you know what I'm saying? Hitting the shots, you know what I'm saying? Making the defensive stops. Like I was in love with basketball, man, but I just didn't give it 110%. Like when I look back on it, and I could be completely honest with myself. At the time, I felt like I was doing 110%, but then I seen, and now these dudes playing overseas, like these legit ballers that I played with. Like shout out to all them, shout out to my old high school team and everything like that, man. But man, I played with legit ballers, man. We won the state championship my junior year. We went to regional semifinals my senior year. We went to states my sophomore year. Like I always was playing with legit ballers. So I seen greatness around me all the time. And I was just trying to get to that level. I wasn't trying to surpass it. But when you already behind the 8-ball, man, you got to do more and you got to prove more. And that's where that action and then that consistency, man, really come in at. So for all the people that's out there, including myself, because I go back and watch pretty much every single video, man, whatever you giving, give another 20% more because it's in you. And that's what you got to do to get to that great level, man. And that includes myself. Like when I do these podcasts, most of the time, I'm not even really speaking to y'all. I'm speaking to me. Whether it's to encourage myself, to kick myself in the butt, to be like, yo, Paul, you need to go get it. Or just to like look back and just kind of laugh on, man. I go back and listen to some of the old podcasts, man. And I just can't help but smile and be like, Paul, what the hell was you thinking? What was you thinking, bro? But it's such a good feeling, man. So that's the key word, man. Today is action. The key word right below that, or the second key word, is consistency, man. Yo, whatever you're doing, if you're not taking action, it's time to take action. If you're taking action, add at least another 20% to what you're doing, because you definitely got it in you. It's just time to unleash that beast, man, and make your goals and your dreams and whatever you're trying to fight for, make that happen. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of King of the Berries podcast. Take care. Peace.